everyone, this is our PowerPoint presentation of Ambient Backscatter and the multiple topics about this subject matter. We hope you all enjoy it.
Ambient backscatter is the use of existing radio frequency waves that are transmitted by other devices to allow other machines within their field of range to communicate with each other. Ambient backscatter is an extremely useful technology due to it needing no kind of power source and it being completely wireless. All different kinds of individuals can benefit from the use of these ambient backscatter devices. Although the technology has not yet been applied for heavy commercial usage, it still has an extremely promising future. Like previously mentioned, ambient backscatter works by taking advantage of the radio waves that are being released by devices such as televisions and radios. Since it uses radio waves sent out by other devices, it needs no power units such as a battery or a power cord. The ambient backscatter devices are capable of using incredibly small antennas to take these waves and transmit them to an abundance amount of microwatt electricity. The most up-and-coming form of ambient backscatter is Wi-Fi backscatter. Typically, the use of Wi-Fi can be very draining on a battery. Instead of automatically using the Wi-Fi signals produced by the router, the Wi-Fi backscatter devices encode the data by choosing to use or to not to use the signals. This results in changes to the signal strength that can be detected by devices such as smartphones, laptops, and even routers. Through the use of reflecting the signals in this manner, we can communicate with devices using significantly less power.
How ambient backscatter is useful. Ambient backscatter is exceedingly useful due to the fact that it does not require to be battery or wire operated. These systems are completely wireless, which is efficient for technology now and in the future. Wi-Fi is a fantastic example of ambient backscatter because it is a form of it since it is a wireless network that allows computers, mobile phones, and other technological devices to interface with the internet through a router. As this type of technology advances, wireless machines will be a lot more useful for the generations ahead.
There are many applications of ambient backscatter. Ambient backscatter is primarily used in the medical field. It can help expedite the process of information registry of the patients, and doctors can quickly examine the vital signs of patients through the use of backscatter sensors on the body. It's also used in health monitors to assist doctors and nurses with patients that require around-the-clock health monitoring. And backscatter sensors also help in lab analysis by providing insight on patient conditions.
In our day-to-day lives, we will benefit from ambient backscatter as it will help us with things that we tend to forget more commonly. Sensors placed around the house can help us identify and locate the keys of someone who left them. Once they have been identified and located, they will notify the owner of the exact position of the keys and keep the location on until the keys have been successfully retrieved by the owner. Small things like these are already in the works, and as technology advances, so will the applications. Grocery store chains can use this in the future to track inventory. The sensor will alert the system that the particular item is running low on the shelf and also check the store inventory to see if there is more in stock. It will then notify the associate in charge, and then they can take the proper actions in order to restock the shelves or order more from the warehouse.
The most promising area of application for this technology is in the medical field. Ambient backscatter can help eliminate the problem of wires, while also help them cut down on their energy use. The applications of these devices is also more effective than the current models in use, and does so without interfering with machines such as MRIs. Ambient backscatter can also be used for in-body and on-body transmission devices like pacemakers. The incorporation of this technology can help with real-time updates, giving medical professionals access to an overview of conditions at will. These same sensors can give insight into lab analysis and help speed up evaluations. Although more research is needed for the effects of using ambient backscatter devices as in-body sensors, The technology can also be used to help expedite the information on a patient. Residential use of ambient backscatter can be seen almost anywhere in the near future.
What ambient backscatter can replace? Besides ambient backscatter replacing the cluttered mess of wires with free space, it can also replace outdated technology. Instead of having an annoying wire connected to your headphones at all times, you can have a nice wireless Bluetooth pair that is a lot more efficient. Ambient backscatter also helped make the use of wireless cell phones possible. In addition to phones, regular data signals on phones can be very unreliable and cut out randomly, but thanks to ambient backscatter, you can use Wi-Fi to have a smooth and reliable connection.
There are many advantages of ambient backscatter systems. For instance, they do not require the use of batteries or wires to operate. Therefore, they do not need a power source. And the circuit size is very small. It can obtain microwatts of energy, and it can have enough electrical energy to power itself, LEDs, accelerometers, and sensors. And the cost of AB devices are very low.
While ambient backscatter is beneficiary, like everything else, it is not perfect and is subjected to drawbacks. Multiple sensors will be needed to cover a large area, as it does not have enough bandwidth for a single device to cover a larger area. As a result, they can only connect a small amount of electricity, which means that it will take more than one sensor to acquire enough electricity and to send signals through a larger area. Security issues have been the biggest issue of ambient backscatter, as they are very dependent on radio waves in order to transmit their signal. This allows
Design and functionality. The functionality begins with an ambient source, such as a TV tower, that sends out radio frequency waves. Ambient backscatter devices use these signals to power themselves and reflect and absorb signals that are transmitted into bits of ones and zeros. One device can sense the backscattering signal changes and decode the data sent by another device. It changes the impedance of the antenna and reflects the signal when electromagnetic waves encounter antenna with two different densities. The strength of the reflection energy is controlled to allow information to be transmitted. When the signal is finally received, it is sent to the demodulator. The demodulator has two stages: the envelope detection and averaging stage that produces an average envelope of the signal, and a compute threshold stage that compares the average signal with a threshold value. This is computed by taking a longer-term average of the signal, and below is a diagram showing the signal flow.
Overall, ambient backscatter is a system that is only dependent on radio frequency waves, as it does not need to be battery or wire operated to power any of the ambient backscatter devices. It is exceedingly useful due to the fact that as time goes on, technology will be continuously advancing and using more wireless machines. Therefore, this will replace outdated devices with new high-tech devices instead. Now, there are many fields of work that ambient backscatter will be eminent for, such as the medical and law enforcement field. Furthermore, there are pros and cons to the use of ambient backscatter systems. For example, one con would be it faces a lot of security issues, and then one pro would be it does not need an energy source. Wi-Fi backscatter is also one of the most important and popular forms of ambient backscatter. As technology evolves, ambient backscatter most definitely will too.